Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. It is the end of November, December 29th, and we're making an explosion card. This is my inspiration calendar, and if you sign up to or subscribe to my email list, you'll get this each month. I always do some sort of video on Fridays, a fun fold or a technique or something, and then I make some of these, and you can look at them on my blog, and some of them are just ideas for you. So anyway, we're going to make this explosion card. I made it for a Christmas card. We'd be counting down on the Christmas days now. We're almost in December. So it opens up like this. It's got a belly band, and then when you open up, it's kind of a gatefold. It's explodes, I guess. It's fun, right? Very Merry Christmas. And then you can just put this back on the belly band. It's a little bit tight. I think the next one I'll make a little bit looser. But isn't that cute? So for this card, I used this paper. It's the festive, a little bit festive, and it only has a few sheets of designer series paper, and then it has all these cutouts. So I just used the tree. So there's a page. I mean, look at that car and these poinsettias with some beautiful wreaths. Then there's these card fronts, so you can just quickly make a card, punch out the middle, or stamp on the middle. Use that as your card front. And then there's some more. I think this is where I got the tree from. There's some pine cones and greenery and this wreath of lights. So it's really nice. And then you get just one sheet of each of these. So we're using this today, both sides. I used this on another card I think I made last week. And then you have this one. All right, so that's what I used. I didn't really have to do much stamping. The sentiment on the inside is from the decorative trees. I did a very Merry Christmas. I figured it was all about the trees. So that's the first card. I like to use different products when I show you, give one as a sample and then another one with different products so that you have, different ideas. So this time we're using brand new product from, it's new online exclusive. So there's this new suite. It's an online exclusive, and it is called Marbled Elegance. So the paper is really pretty. It has one side that has patterns. It's got Melon Mambo and Petal Pink and Flirty Flamingo. There's gold in there. It's very pretty. Great for Valentine's Day. So our mini is not going to really have a lot of Valentine's Day because I think by the time you get it, it's so close. So they put a whole Valentine's suite. So you get 2 sheets of each in the online exclusive. So you won't see this in a catalog. This is online only. So if you go to my online store, you can find it. So the suite has the Hearts of Elegance stamp set. And then I haven't even opened it. We're not using this today. We're making a birthday card, but I wanted to show you. So there's these great hearts, and then there's some dies that will cut out the flower and the greenery pieces. And it has some good Valentine's Day sentiments. And then there's these gold hearts. They are called adhesive back heart sequins. So those are nice. They're different sizes. And then there's a gold trim, gold twisted thread. So this is the suite. We will be using just the paper. And then we're using another new online exclusive called Cake Celebrations. And it has all the different stamps to make a cake. And you can also die cut pieces, either die cut out some of what you stamped, or you can actually die cut the pieces to make a cake, the frosting and whatever. We're going to stamp it though. So I wanted to show you that. And let's get started. So let me put this aside. The first thing we're going to do is cut our designer series paper. So I'm using both sides of this sheet because this is like my favorite pattern. So let me get my trimmer out, and we are going to cut a piece. And then we'll do the card base, but we are going to cut a piece that is 4 by 8. So 4 by And this really doesn't have a direction, so it doesn't really matter which way you cut it. But if you did have a direction, let me just show you the inside again of this. Like, I feel like this had a direction. We don't want them upside down or sideways, right? So you want the 8 to go long ways, and then the 4 is short. So if you have a direction, kind of keep that in mind. So then we're going to open up our arm and go out to 8. And we might cut something else later on that. Then we want to score it at 2 and 6, and we're going to mark it at 4. So we're going to score at 2 and then at 6, and then at 4 you want to mark it with a pencil. Let me get a pencil. So I have my pencil. I might mark it on this side just because it's lighter. And this is really, actually this is going to be the inside, but that's okay. So I'm going to mark it at 4 over here and over here. And then we're going to score it from the point down to where we marked it. Okay. So we're going to score it that way, and then we're going to flip it and score it on that same, well, the opposite end of that. We're making X's, and you'll see why in a few minutes. So we've got this, so we're going to score it that way, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to have the fold here and then X's. And that creates your little explosion piece. So we're going to put the where we marked it at the 4-inch, and we're going to go right to the corner, and then we're going to flip it, marked where we marked the 4-inch, and right to the point. So now let's put this aside. We are going to cut more of that paper, so we will leave that out for a minute. So now what we want to do is score, or burnish, I should say, all of our score lines. So just like this. Okay, and then we're going to fold it here. I feel like that was not on the fold. I feel like it's a little crooked. There we go. And you could probably even do this without scoring it. You're just kind of folding the ends in. Like that, and then one more. Okay, reminds me, do you know when you were a kid and you used to do that thing where you put your fingers in it and you opened it up and you had writing? That's what it reminds me of. All right, so I'm going to erase my pencil marks. And then we're going to fold these back this way because this is how we want it. This is the inside. So it's nice because it's burnished really well and it'll fold nicely. So I'm just going to fold them back. Okay, so now with this piece, these pieces will pinch in. Let's see. Come on. Pinch in like this. Okay, and then these pieces okay, I'm doing it wrong here. There we go. We'll pinch in. Come on. There we go. Okay. All right, so this is going to be the inside that explodes. All right, so let's put this aside for now. I'm going to just flip it over and put it on the side. It'll open up and that's okay. So then we have our card base. This is a half a piece of thick white, basic white cardstock. And we are going to, so it's 8.5 by 5.5. And we're going to go in to 2 1/8. And we're going to score that. And then I'm just going to flip it and do the same thing. And this is going to make a gatefold card. So 2 1/8. Okay, I'm going to put this aside again. We're going to fold these in and burnish them. They should meet in the middle. Okay, and then this piece is going to sit right in here, and we're going to attach it and glue it down, and when you open it up, there's your piece. Before we do that, let's get our inside piece done. So I have a piece of Melon Mambo, and this is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then a piece of white is 2 1/2 by 2 1/2, and it's going to sit this way. So when you do your stamping, I am going to stamp the sentiment, happy birthday. This would be a beautiful wedding, anniversary, celebrate, but I decided to do birthday. So we are going to use Melon Mambo, and I'm going to start with birthday because that's the longer word. I always like to start with the longer word first so we know how to center the rest of it. So we're going to stamp birthday. And I'm going to do it kind of in the long part here. So birthday. And then the happy. Right up here. So you can put the person's name and then love your name or whatever you want to do. You could put a little flower or there's not a lot of room for writing, so I'm just going to leave it like that. But if you wanted to decorate it, you could. So let's get our liquid glue out and we'll glue this together. I can't believe it's almost December. I hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. I had it at my house, but only 6 adults and 2 kids, so it wasn't bad. I like to have it at my house because I like to have my my food, my stuffing, and my sweet potatoes and all of that stuff. So I hate to say that, but that's how I feel. I only really have turkey once a year, so when I have it, I want to have my version of everything. And it's not much for cleanup for 6 people. So there we have it. All right, so the next thing we want to do is put glue on just this square, whatever adhesive you want. And we're going to try to center this in the middle. I'm going to try to fold it in so I can see how it's going to go. And we want to kind of look at it top to bottom, side to side, and we do want to close this to make sure it looks good when it's closed. Okay? So then we're going to put glue on here, on these pieces. So just like this. I'm going to do one at a time. So we're going to just close this right like this. And then we'll do this one. It's a pretty cool card. I've seen a lot of them, you know, I never know who to give credit to. But there's a bunch of them, and there's all different ways you can do it. This way is what I liked the best. And it's a nice little surprise. I think this would be fun for someone to receive and open. I've got a little glue on here for my fingers, but we're going to cover that. Happy birthday. There we go. So the next thing we want to do is add some paper here and here. So I'm going to go with this. And this piece, these pieces are going to be 2 7/8. Let me just see. I don't have that written down. I think I had to wing it. So this is 2 1/8. So we're going to do 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. So let me get that out. So I'm going to do 1 7/8 and another 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. Let me just make sure that's right before I do the other one. I should have done that. Yeah, that'll work. All right. So it's just down 1/4. So by 5 1/4. So the card base is 5 1/2. So this is 5 1/2 and this is 2 1/8. So I'm doing 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. All right. So moving right along, let's put this down. I'm thinking I should have cut this differently. I was going to do this with the belly band, but we'll see. We'll see what we do. So then this is going to sit right here like this. And then one more. And I think this marble paper is so pretty with the gold in it. And you can add gold to your accents if you wanted to. Okay, ta-da! So pretty. Now what we want to do is create our front focal piece like this. And I decided I would use a circle, and I cut this out from basic white using the Spotlight on Nature. I use these dies all the time. There's actually 2 sheets of them. Some of them have this like floral border like the one I did. Some of them just have dots, and some of them are just this looks like a paper plate kind of thing, like an embossed look. So this is a great set to have. And then we are going to use the stamp set and build a birthday cake. So I decided to use wild wheat. Wild wheat reminds me of a gold. So I want to use that for the cake stand. I'm going to put that right here. Okay. And then I want to use Melon Mambo for the cake, and I'm also going to use it for the frosting. So what I decided to do was stamp it off to get a lighter color. You can use Petal Pink or Flirty Flamingo, they're also in this, but I really like Melon Mambo. So what I want to do is stamp the cake. I'm going to stamp it on scrap. I'm going to stamp it again. And I don't like the looks like there's little dots in it over here. 1, 2, and now I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to get a nice light pink. So I'm going to stamp it right here to make the bottom of the cake. And then I'm going to stamp the smaller one kind of the same way. I'm going to do 1, 2, and then I'll put it right on here. A little crooked. It's okay. I feel like I touched down before I was ready, but that's okay. Then we're going to get this frosting piece, and we're going to go right over here with it. Just kind of add some fun little frosting decoration. And there's a small one as well. Cute, right? And then I die cut some flowers. So I stamped these 3 flowers, and then there are dies for each one. And I've already done it, so we don't have to take the time to do it. So I did 2 sets of them, and I thought we would kind of put them around, but I want to put leaves down as well. So I thought we would put like 3 flowers down here with leaves around them, and then 3 up here with leaves around them. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to stamp the leaves in Granny Apple Green. And it's just this, there's 2 bunches, but I'm going to just use this small one. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how that's going to work. And I think what I'll do is I'll put these down with glue dots. I think I have them at my other table. Oh, here they are. They're hiding on me. So I'll just put glue dots on the backs of each of these. 1, 2, 3. I might as well do them all, right? Oops. Oh my goodness. 1, 2. Okay. So before we do the next set of leaves, let's put these down to see how it looks. So I'm going to just put one here. And then this one. And then this little guy. I think that's cute. So let's do some more leaves. Leave a little more space between them. All right, so let's put this away. And I'm not putting a sentiment on the outside. I didn't put it on the other card either. I don't think it needs a sentiment. You can if you want. It's funny, you know, sometimes you don't think you can give a card without a sentiment on top. Okay, and we'll put some pearls in the middle. I think that really makes a flower pop. But let's finish with the card here. So this is going to sit on here. Whoops, that last one didn't stick. Oh, I didn't get the... I just took the flower off without the glue dot. Okay. Let's try this again. So this is going to sit here, and I have 2 options for belly bands. I have the Melon Mambo, or I have the basic white, or I thought I could do the white with the marble, but I cut this, I cut it too short. Or maybe I could do the white with the pink. Maybe I'll do that. So I think I'm going to cut the white. So these are 9.5, and they're, I have 1 1/4, and I'm going to cut this down to 1. And I'm wondering if we should make it embossed, just to fancy it up a little bit. What do you think? So let me cut this down to 1 first, and then let me see if I can find an embossing folder that would work. I will be right back. So I think the eyelet embossing folder would work nicely. It will go along with the kind of the eyelets around here, and it's a floral, so I think that'll work. Now, the trick is going to be to emboss something longer than the embossing folder, but we'll get that worked out. So let me get my machine out, and I'm just going to feed it in. You don't want to go all the way up to the top because there's kind of like a ridge here, but I kind of have it centered. Let's see if this will work. And I'm not going to go all the way down. I'm going to go part way and come back. And then let's see if we can kind of line this up. So I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to try to line up one of the flowers that I have. Hear my dog again. Let's see. I'm looking at this one here. Is that working? Oh, I'm on the wrong side here. That's what it is. So there's two different flowers, so I'm on the wrong flower. So I am going to, there, it's caught in. See, there's two different flowers here. There's this one here and this one. So I'm trying to line it up in the same place. So I actually have it like hooked in. I could feel that it's in place. So now we're going to go down again. And you don't want to go all the way to the edge. And hopefully this worked. Okay, looks good. So I just want to show you what I was talking about. I think maybe we can do it on here. So see, there's this flower and this flower. So I had to line it up with this flower. And at first I was trying to line it up with the wrong flower. So it will actually lock in if you wanted to do that. All right. Let's see how this will look. Oh, I've got my little pieces there. So we are going to adhere this down. I think that'll be pretty. We'll put some glue on the back of this. All the way around. And belly bands are a little bit funny. You don't want to make them too tight, but you don't want to make them too loose, and that's always a little bit of a problem. But I think over time, as you open and close the card, it works its way out. So we're going to leave this aside for now, and we're going to put this belly band around, and we're going to have it close in the front because we're going to hide that. So I'm just going to crease it. Okay, and I just want to see how it opens. Oh, this is funny here. I'm looking at this when I folded it, it kind of ripped because it's embossed. I really like this look. Let's see. I wonder if I could just put a little dot of glue in there. Let's try that, because I do like it with the embossed layer. I don't know if you could see that. It's just where it folded. It's just right where it was embossed, and it's kind of broken. I think that's okay. All right, so let's get this on. And I am going to use tear and tape for this. You're not going to see this part. No, see, I'm not liking this. We're going to have to do this without embossing. But I do like the white and the pink. So let me cut more pieces. All right, so I cut 2 more pieces, and I'm leaving this in my video. I could have edited it out, but I wanted you to see another option. Maybe you have a folder that would emboss that wouldn't, you know, tear. I think it's just the way it's folding and the little areas that that just ripped a little bit. All right, I think this will be pretty. So let's get this going again. So we're going to close this up, and we're going to fold this and fold this. And again, you don't want to, you want to do it on the card. You don't want it to be too tight. So I'm going to just loosen it up a little bit, and I'm going to use tear and tape. Just 2 little pieces of it. Here's my scissors. Whoops. Just to make sure this holds good. I'm going to put them right here on this piece. Okay, I think that's good. And if you go over, you know, if it's hanging over, you could just fold it back if you made it too long. So just take off the release paper. Come on. Okay. Well, that wasn't good. My hands are a little bit sticky. I think my hands are always a little bit sticky. And I'm not going to pull it tight. I'm going to pull it so that it's a little bit loose. So that seems good. And again, this isn't going to matter because we're going to put this right over it. Now you can put this down with liquid glue or with dimensionals if you wanted. But if you do that, there's a lot of thickness to this card. So if you were handing it to somebody, but if you're putting it in the mail, it might be a little bit too much. So I'm just going to put glue right. I'm going to put it on here. And see, now I feel like this could have been a little bit tighter because it's popped up a little, but I think it's fine. Okay. So put that down, and then let's put some, I have 2 choices. I love the blooming pearls, and there is gold on the inside, so the gold would work. So we could put these down. They're nice and tiny. Or I have these iridescent, I think I'm going to go with the gold, because I think it ties together, and they're so tiny for this little flower. So put one on each center of each flower. Doesn't it make the flower just look so different when it has a center like this? It just really finishes it off so nicely. Okay, all kinds of stuff here. So this is the birthday card. Again, you can put a sentiment down here or, you know, wherever. And then you take this off. You open it up. Happy birthday. Ta-da, right? I used to, when I had in-person card classes, every time one of the ladies made a card, she would go, ta-da, and we would all laugh. So that's who I'm thinking of, Barbara, as I open up the cards. See, this one's a little tight and that one's a little bit loose. So, but they both work. All right, so I am working on next month's calendar. Just stay tuned. I'll have it out by the 1st of December, and you can see my next set of cards that I'm going to make. All right, thanks so much, and have a great week.